And now, Ratliff presents the acting class.
Why do we act? What is acting? They say that acting is just playing pretend. But if we pretend that we are acting, then where does acting stop and living begin? Acting is real, but so is faking. And there are fakings that seem awfully nice. Reality sucks, and so does acting. But here we are, and here my lies. I am a professional actor, member of the Screen Actors Guild. I have so many things to tell you, so be ready for your mind to be filled. Acting is fun, and life is a joke. If you are a Pepsi, you can make a Coke. This is a mess, and I am no teacher, so tell me, what do I need to do to reach you?
Ratliff presents the acting class. Thank you for attending this. How many people in the audience here identify as actors? Just by a show of hands. Okay, just a few people. And how many people absolutely do not? How many people say, I'm not an actor? Please make a loud noise if you're not an actor. All right. Does that feel good? Does that feel good to make that noise? Maybe deep down you have an impulse that could steer you towards acting. I'm going to talk to a couple of people, preferably one actor and one non-actor, before I bring out my guests for our conversation this evening. Let me talk to an actor first. Let's get this out of the way. Let's talk to, if there's an actor who wants to talk to me. Any actor? Yes, you are an actor.
Yes.
Are you a professional actor or are you?
Professional.
Yes. What are you currently working?
Yes.
All right, good. What? How much can you say? 'Cause sometimes people are working actors, but they sign documents that say, I can't tell you about what I'm working on.
I can tell you what I'm working on.
You can tell me what you're working on. Okay, let's hear it. What's your first name?
Kevin.
Kevin. All right, Kevin. What are you working on? What's your gig right now?
So I just got cast in a play.
You just got cast in a play. Where will this play be performed?
Classic Stage Company on 13.
Classic Stage Company on 13. This is, you are a professional New York City stage actor.
Yes.
That's high level, and you know it. You know it, Kevin, right? How long have you been a professional actor?
5.5, 6 years.
All right, so this is a relatively new journey for you.
Correct.
I mean, that's a long time to be an actor, because I would assume the full 6 years isn't constant acting, right? There have been occasionally periods where you have that thing that all actors go through where you're struggling, but you've just been cast. Are you in rehearsal for this?
It starts in a week.
All right. What is the play? What is the role? And you can disguise this as much or as little as you wish. It's also a great promotional opportunity.
It's called Étoile, or the Dancing Witch Play.
The Dancing Witch Play.
It's based on an actual historical event from the 1500s.
Oh, I'm assuming something terrible happening. Right? We're not doing a historical play about something wonderful that happened.
So, if you're not familiar with this particular historical event, I'd say something akin to it is the Salem witch trials.
Yes, which I was not in favor of.
Sure. Yes. So what happens here is that there was a woman that started dancing in the street and was doing it for a long time, and people started joining her.
Yeah.
And because of misogyny and patriarchy, people are like, well, clearly this person's a witch.
What is the character that is your character? A person who says, "I am in favor of this dancing in the streets."
Absolutely
woman.
not.
All right, so you're basically like you're one of the parents in Footloose.
Yes.
You don't like the dancing.
I want people in the corner.
What's the name of your character?
Reverend Edgar Beaufort.
Oh, even if you just said I'm playing Reverend Edgar Beaufort, we'd all have an inkling, probably not the hero. Could have been, but you never know. With the 1500s, it's a coin toss. Reverend Edgar Beaufort, what did you do for the audition? Congratulations,
Thank
by
you.
the way.
I mean, like I said, I understood that this is a character that has benefited from the systems of misogyny and patriarchy.
Yes.
So the scene that I was auditioning for was the person who was dancing in the street. So
Right.
I just went in there knowing that like this is somebody that is challenging the systems that I benefit from.
Yes.
I can't let this person continue.
Right,
to do
because,
that.
and you've honed in on something here. No matter what you might think of Reverend Edgar Beaufort, you have to think what he thinks of himself. He's the hero of this play in his own mind, right?
Correct.
Right. Do you do a funny voice?
Nope.
No. Your natural speaking voice. So you played it close to the bone. Do you remember any of the dialogue you said in your audition? You auditioned in person?
I got callback was.
Callback in
First one was
person.
not.
First one was a Zoom or a self-tape?
Self-tape.
Self-tape. Where do you set up? What's your home setup? You do it at home?
Yeah.
All right, what's your home setup? Where are you at?
Living room.
Living room? What's behind you?
I got a backdrop. I prefer blue, not gray.
Blue, not gray backdrop. All right, I like
And I have a
this.
panel light.
Panel light, you have all the gear, all the equipment. So you send in a tape. Was the tape from the play?
Yes.
All right, and when you went into the callback, what was the vibe like? Were there other people in the waiting room?
There was one other person.
What was that person like?
They were, well, I kept to themselves. They were reading for a different part.
Yeah.
So I let them just kind of be with themselves, and that was that. I didn't really bother them.
Right. How did you know they were reading for a different part?
They were female presenting, and they were running their line, which was a different scene.
Different scene, different gender, different part. And you didn't really talk to them, you let them in their own space.
I did.
What if there had been someone there who was up for the same part?
I would have also left them in their own space.
What if they wouldn't leave you in your space?
Then you've got to react to that.
Hey, I'm up for the Reverend part.
Great.
You are too? Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, but one of us, we can't both get the part unless they double cast it. I don't think they do that. I don't think they do that here.
That's okay, buddy.
I'm sorry. No, I didn't. No, I realized that came off hostile. I have a weird energy in these rooms. Oh, I think the Reverend's like that too. Maybe I'm just getting into the character. I feel like the Reverend. I mean, I hope this doesn't. I'm not trying to interfere with your process. I'm a little nervous about this callback. I do a gray background on my self-tape at home. I set up the gray background. Give a setup at home. Yeah?
I've heard the blue background.
Blue background, interesting.
We have different skin tones, so I feel like the blue goes
Yeah,
with the gray.
right? Also blue and gray, that's what happened in the Civil War. So, I mean,
So we're on the same side there.
Yeah, that's right.
I would be blue, you would be gray.
That's right. But I wouldn't. I hated that war. It was long before I hated it. I liked the turnout. I liked the ending of it. I'm in favor of the war having happened. Oh boy, I'm getting a whole twist. I'm so nervous about this callback. I have a nervous energy in these rooms. Well, good luck.
You too.
No, should I not say this? Should I say break a leg? I never know if break a leg is for when we're doing shows or when we're auditioning for shows. I wasn't trying to get in your head there by saying good luck.
You did.
Break a leg.
Break it.
Right?
Break a
Right?
leg.
Macbeth.
Yeah.
I'm a nervous wreck. Anyway, I did not get the part. Now I want to talk to a non-actor. We have a diverse crop of non-actors here. So many people for non-actors. I just need one who will talk to me briefly, ever so briefly. Who is the bravest non-actor here? You, right up front, the bravest non-actor in the room. You're not an actor. Why not?
I stopped after high school.
So you were an actor. All right, it's fair. I use the present tense. when I ask.
I don't consider myself an actor.
You don't consider yourself an actor, and that is the question I asked. That is fair. But you were an actor, and then something stopped. Something changed. What was it? When's the last time you acted? What's your first name?
Jeremy.
Jeremy. Oh, like that song. Jeremy spoke in school today. Sad song. What was the last time you acted, Jeremy? When was it? 2015? 2005?
maybe like 2004.
2004. All right. George Bush running for re-election, and you decide. What was the last time you acted? What was the character? What was the circumstance?
Dogs, Hamlet, Cahoots, Macbeth.
Dogs, Hamlet, Cahoots, Macbeth. I'm not familiar, or
The Tom Stoppard. It's like two Tom Stoppards.
these are how many titles did you just say?
It's a slash.
Dogs, Hamlet, Cahoots, Macbeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are 2 plays or 4 plays, or one play.
Dogs, Hamlet.
Dogs, Hamlet is one thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Cahoots, Macbeth.
All right.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you can't do this to me. So you were in 2 productions that were performed jointly,
Yes.
and what character did you play?
I was
Or did you play
a
many?
principal.
You were what?
A principal.
A principal. And what was the context? What was the principal? Tell me what was at the center of this performance as the principal? Was it a comedic role? Was it dramatic?
So the entire play is done in a kind of broken variant of English. It's trying to make fun of foreign adaptations of drama.
Right, so it's a very cerebral
Yeah.
work.
It,
Is this what drove you out of acting? Was it the Tom Stoppard just bite off so much that as an actor?
it's not a great thing to learn acting from.
You were learning acting?
Drama club, but
It was a club. You were in drama club. How did you join drama club? Signed up?
seems like a thing to do, yeah.
Yeah. And what did you think of yourself as an actor?
I enjoyed doing it, and I
Liked
thought I was good enough
You thought you were good enough. Interesting. Good enough for what, Jeremy?
to not embarrass myself.
That is the floor. You were good enough to not embarrass yourself, and you enjoyed acting.
Yeah.
And you felt like you could do it without experiencing humiliation. Did you ever get any positive reinforcement for your acting?
Yeah.
What would people say? They'd say, "Good job, Jeremy."
Yeah.
I mean,
Congratulations.
congratulations. That's one of those sort of vague compliments.
It happened.
I've congratulated many people. Congratulations. It's a great word for people who don't know what to say. Did you make the conscious choice to stop? Like, did you know when you played the principal, what's the last thing that you think the principal said in Dogs, Hamlet, Television, Radiator? It's that cognitive test that the president always writes. I remembered it. I've already failed it. Dogs, Hamlet, Cahoots, Macbeth. We're really saying the title a lot. It's not a theater, it's a club. What was the last thing that you remember doing as the principal in the play? Think about as the production is nearing its end. What was the principal doing?
I think I'm basically by the end just in the background.
Just in the background.
Yeah.
Yes? Is this what it felt like, Jeremy?
A little. Warmer. Okay.
This is what it felt like to be the principal? What is the principal seeing?
So there's a conversation going on between 2 students. I'm part of that earlier on, and then it moves on just the students between themselves. And
Right. So you were part of the conversation, and then by the end of the play, the principal is just watching, no longer part of the conversation. Jeremy, I'm worried that you got so deeply into character that it pushed you out of acting. By playing a character who at one point is part of the conversation, but then sort of fades away into the background and just watches, and is at a certain point just a member of the audience in a way. Just a very visible member of the audience. I fear that you, whether you know it or not, you might have had a process by which you connect at such a deep level that you never fully escaped from the role. Do you think I'm onto something here?
it's very possible.
Well, what do you do for a living now, Jeremy?
Marketing.
Marketing. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's good.
Your voice went up so high. Yeah, it was good. You really like it?
I like it well enough.
Enough. You ever seen the movie Enough with Jennifer Lopez? It's about how she doesn't like her life. She makes a change. She's had enough. Very violent. I'm not saying that you need to go back to acting, but I will say this. I don't know whether you love marketing, but I don't think you do. This class is not about converting people into becoming actors. That's the last thing I want. If anything, I want to actively discourage people from entering the profession. I want to thin out the field. Is there something that you want to do that you feel you could do and get a few levels above enough? What's your dream, Jeremy? It's okay if you don't have one.
I don't have one.
You don't have one. Are you happy?
Yes.
I believe you because your voice stayed right. Yes. Thank you, Jeremy. And you weren't acting. Jeremy, acting is a form of telling the truth. So in a way, you may have just done some of the best acting of your career. Everyone, I want to welcome a dear friend, author, actor, comedian, Jeff HILLER.
Who's the one from Classic Stage?
Yeah. It may be one of the, every now and then.
Classic Stage, one of the big off-Broadway houses. It's huge.
Yes. I hope I conveyed that. I was impressed. You feel like I undercut it? A little bit?
I just want to, recognize the gravity of such
Yeah.
a landing of a job.
I feel like you have a greater understanding of how the New York theater scene actually works than I do.
Well, that makes sense, yeah. Because you don't really, that's not something you're pursuing, right? You're not really pursuing theater. You're pursuing film, TV, creating your own things, doing your own stuff.
I guess so, yeah. I've never said no to it. I've just never had any success in that road. I've never worked in the proper New York theater.
Right. It's also like, if it doesn't thrill you, there's kind of no upside to do it. It's not like it's like, well, that'll make me a lot of money. Or it's like, oh, it's so easy. No, it's not. 8 times a week. Sometimes I make you dance. Oh.
I'm also not very good at doing the same thing more than once.
Oh, and this would kill your soul. Oh my God, this would kill your soul, Connor. Yeah.
I've done it.
And sometimes you do something just a little bit different because they said it in a slightly different way, so you respond in a slightly different way, and then you get a note from the stage manager. Keep it the same! Keep it the same!
I have sabotaged a couple of theater auditions because I really didn't want to do them. Not because I thought the production was bad, but there was a very big production that at one point was looking in the improv community for people.
Yeah.
And it would have been my nightmare to book it because it's one of those things where the show has a way of doing things that's based on how it's always been done.
Right.
And so to do something 8 times a week that you don't even originate the template for it,
So hard.
to me feels like I don't know how I would do that and not get really angry all the time. Even though it would be a great job.
I couldn't do that either.
What?
Replace someone
Yeah.
and do the thing that they did. Sometimes, if you see a show that's been running for a long time, you're like, why are they shaking their head like that? You're like, oh, Kristen Chenoweth did it 25 years ago.
And there's gotta be like a game of Broadway telephone that happens. Just
Right.
Just goes like,
That's
not the right way to
she
shake the
knew
head.
why she was doing it. You don't know why you're doing it, and so it just
Shake
looks
my head.
odd.
Yeah, I don't. That's a good placeholder image to convey that phenomenon. Now, I arrived on the UCB scene. I started taking classes in 2009.
Okay.
At which point you'd already been on the scene for a little while. 'Cause
Yeah.
You and I I'm older than you by a few months.
Oh yeah, you know now.
Yeah.
I come out about my age.
I do a thing that everybody I know hates when I do this. I do 2 things because I'm sort of obsessed with time and mortality and the way that.
Me too.
Yes, yeah. And have you ever thought about your age in reverse chronological? Like, however old you are, just imagine that you had aged in reverse chronological time, what year it would be. So we were born in 1975, so you go back 50 years earlier, and that's the same span of life. So we would be in 1925.
Oh. Well, first of all, I want to say December birthday, so nothing.
Yeah.
Secondly, so if we'd been born, I mean, that would have been even worse. That would have been terrible.
But it always is very weird to think about because the 50 years almost that we've experienced, although we are in our 50th year. That's the other
true.
thing that people really don't like when I point out.
I know.
Which is when you have your birthday, you're celebrating the completion of that year. You're not starting.
Right.
So when you turn 49, it means that you've had 49 years.
Yeah, and when I turned 40, someone was like, "This is actually your 5th decade." Because I was like, "Oh, I'm entering my 4th decade," and they were like, "No, bitch."
Yeah, you've completed decade number 4 fully.
Exactly.
But yeah, so like we are in our 50th year, even though we're not 50.
Yeah.
At the point. At the point when I showed up on the UCB scene, I looked at you as someone that was already fully professionalized. Like, you were someone who would like...
Sounds like I'm in a cult. I've been professionalized. Okay.
I just mean in the sense that there were people who were doing improv shows, and then like, you'd be doing them, but they'd be like, you'd also be in a production of a play.
Right.
Or you'd leave for a little while, and then it'd be like, oh yeah, because you booked work. And you would show up in things. And I don't think until I read your book, which you are now in full book promotion.
I will hawk that to anybody, yes.
This is your 6th, you did CBS This Morning and 4 podcasts today.
Yeah.
So this is your 6th appearance promoting the book today.
But what I'm saying here is special and unique.
I don't want you to say if I catch you saying anything that I saw on CBS This Morning, I will call it out immediately. This has to be all new material.
Okay, good.
But I don't think I fully processed until I read your book how tenuous it has felt to you at every phase. Because I've always just thought, oh, well, yeah, Jeff Hiller, he's got it together. Professionally.
Oh. Yeah. I feel like that's so crazy because I feel that way about you because you like came from London and you showed up at the UCB in 2009, but you were like on a weekend team, which is like it's like prestigious or whatever. And like within a year, and everyone was like, no, Conrad. So I feel like, and then I think like, oh, you do your own things and you do these podcasts that last 24 hours a day. Like and I loved Dead Eyes because I thought that was really such a time when it really was. Am I supposed to be being funny right now?
No.
Okay.
No one paid for that.
Okay, good. Nor have they ever. But it was such a peek behind the curtain that really it was so weird. Like when I loved listening to it, but like right before I'd always have like a little like. I'd have to like because it is so
just drenched in failure.
But not failure, but truth.
Yeah, most truth is failure. It's just like most history. It's just like whenever you were talking about the Dancing in the Streets play, and you're like, it's based on something that happened in 1500. It's not like someone got someone a really nice present. It was so nice that the whole town, like stuff that's like, well, I'm going to tell you about something that happened, several hundred years ago.
Yeah.
It's usually going to be like, well, somebody messed up.
Right. There's not a lot of good news history that comes down. You're right.
But I was surprised because we're both basically saying versions of the same thing, which is that our observations of another person are frequently
Incorrect.
Yeah, that's right.
Or not nuanced enough.
Or incomplete.
Yes.
And yet, as an actor, we observing other people and then being able to pretend to be other people, that's like the thing that we do.
Yeah.
So it's interesting whenever
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You know?
Not a good sign, is it? The thing is that we're also projecting things too, right? Like,
Yeah.
like I wanted to be vulnerable in this book, and so I said everything. But like, whatever, in 2009, when I, was still temping and teaching improv and coaching and trying to make ends meet, I was trying to put off an air of like, but I'm doing it. I've got a job.
Right, I think that's
I'm
what
an
I saw.
actress.
I think that's what I saw.
Yeah.
Is you had a way of walking in that felt like there were some people who were like, oh, that person's just here having fun, that person's doing this, and you felt like, also, we're both, as improvisers, we're both actorly improvisers. There are writerly improvisers and actorly improvisers, and a lot of times, writerly improvisers are ones who'll do great scenes, but you wouldn't imagine like if they would show up on a TV show, it'd be like, that's weird. You know? Like, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. We're like, they're funny, but that's weird.
Do you think it's just writer improvisers and reader improvisers? I mean, actor and writer, or do you think
What
there
an
are others?
interesting slip. Writers and readers instead of writers and actors. Is that all we are? We're just reading.
But isn't that actually kind of profound and deep? And I'm going to swirl it around again. That we are able to read the human spirit and channel
Have you
it
ever read the David Mamet's book about acting?
on acting,
Whatever. No, I don't remember what it's even called.
where
now.
it's just like say the words and
Yes.
shut up.
Yeah, where it very much is like actors are readers. He doesn't say it that way,
Yeah.
but it almost feels, what you just did by saying there's writers and there's readers, almost feels like if you were going to write a dystopian show business thing where it's like, we bring the readers in to film their faces while they read the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Am I going to do Mammoth this year?
Do you like David Mamet style writing? Would you like to play a David Mamet?
I mean, listen. I will audition for anything and everything, and have. And if somebody wanted to pay me to be in a David Mamet play, I would absolutely be in a David
You
Mamet
said
play.
you like auditioning. You said it in your book. You said,
I do.
I like auditioning. You really do?
I do.
What do you like about it?
You don't?
No, not really.
Oh.
You know what I like? I like it when someone just asks me to be in something because they saw me acting.
Yeah, I love that more, but it never happens.
It's never happened to you? I don't believe that.
What's happened?
Yes. It has happened. There's no way. Because I'm not saying it's happened at the highest levels of show business.
Right.
But I'm saying there have been times when like College Humor said, will you be in a video?
Oh, we're counting college humor? First of all, College Humor has never had me in a video.
Really?
I'll say that. And I would do it tomorrow. I would do a scripted podcast tomorrow. I will do anything. I'm a whore because I don't have kids. What else am I doing?
But you have been off, you've done things where you haven't had to read for it because they just know you and they know what you can do.
I got Kimmy Schmidt after I'd done 30 Rock. So yeah, there's that. Oh, I got American Horror Story from somebody somewhere. So that, yeah.
Yeah. And you like that better than I. That's why I don't like auditioning. I like it when
Yeah.
somebody just sees something else and they're like, yeah, you can do that.
But aren't you scared?
Yes.
I mean, like, it's 2025, we're all fucking afraid. But aren't you scared when you show up and they haven't seen you audition that you might be doing something that is not what they want?
I'll tell you, yeah. I mean, like, not that much because they'll just fire you if you're not what they want.
That's the most terrifying response I've ever heard in my life. Oh, what's the worst that could happen? They fire you?
Honestly?
Yes, that is the worst that could happen.
I realize I've so reached the point where I'm like, oh, and then I can do another season on my podcast. I'm like begging to be fired at this point. Like, please wrong me again.
No, they'll never do it now because they're afraid that they'll be on your podcast.
I genuinely have played that card, not in a show business circumstance, but on multiple occasions now. I have played the card of, if you don't do this, I have no choice but to make a podcast about it. And it has worked. I've done it in customer service situations. I did it where I wrote these things for Spin Magazine, and then the person who hired me to do them got fired before we'd worked out what I was going to get paid. And I'd already written these things, and they'd already run them on their website. So I'm in a conversation with a guy at Spin Magazine who's like, well, I just don't know how we could pay you if you hadn't agreed and we don't have anything in writing. I'm like, but you ran the articles, they're on your website. And they're like, oh, it's just so hard to figure out, you know. It was just basically saying, like, if we're not forced by a contract to pay someone, why would we ever pay someone for having done work for us? And at a certain
Capitalism.
Point, and at a certain point, I just said to him, I said, look, I'm going to need to get some value for my work out of this.
And he was like, here's a piece of chicken.
I said, it's either going to be you writing me a check, or I'm going to have to make a podcast about this. And I said to him, look me up. I said, this is the kind of thing that I do. And they wrote me a check the next fucking day. I think that's all I've wanted my whole life, is to have that card to play, which is like, look me up and fear my capability.
Oh, that's wonderful.
There's a thing I learned about you in your book that I can't believe I didn't know, which is that we both worked at Barnes & Noble.
Oh yeah, I've told you this. I worked there a lot longer than I did.
When did you, if you told me this, it was so long ago that I buried it. It surprised me again when I read this. When and where did you work at Barnes & Noble?
Here in the city, when I first got here in 2001.
Which one?
The one that's now a Trader Joe's.
The one in Chelsea?
No.
Oh?
The other one that's also now a Trader Joe's. 62nd or something. It was a Century 21 for a bit.
Yeah. The one near Lincoln Center?
Yes.
Okay, so it was one of the other big ones.
Yes. And I worked at the information desk.
The information desk, all right. So the information desk did have, the one you worked at, how many computer terminals did it have?
4, maybe 5?
No, this was the heyday.
Yeah. Maybe 5, maybe just 4.
All right. Hey, you work here?
I do.
I'm looking for a book.
Oh. Do you know the title or the author?
No, but I know you have it.
Do you know the genre?
Yeah, it's like a nonfiction novel. No, fiction novel. Yeah, it's a fiction novel.
A novel.
I think, like about someone's life, like they're writing their story.
Oh, a memoir?
No, it's English. It's in English. It's like a biography.
A biography, but they wrote it themselves?
Yeah.
So an autobiography?
Yeah.
And do you know what they did in their life that they were writing about in the book?
Yeah. Yeah. They created 30 Rock.
Tina Fey, Bossy Pants.
No.
I do believe she created it with Robert Carlock, but I don't think he has a book. Let me just look that up.
All right. Yeah, it might be Robert Carlock. Where's your bathroom, by the way?
We have, and the. I'm going to send you up past the children's level up to the third floor. The third floor.
Is that that's a policy, right?
Yes, not just for you.
All right.
That would be terrible. No.
All right.
No. I just, you don't have to walk through the. If you just go up to the third floor,
But there is
the
one in the
escalators-
kids section. Not for me though. That's for kids.
Yeah, it's usually more for kids.
I don't want to go to a kid's bathroom.
Yeah, you don't.
You're so loud. They make a mess. I want a proper adult bathroom.
Listen, I got bad news for you, because this is a Barnes & Noble in Manhattan. I'm just a joke. They're probably going to be fine.
You're funny.
Thank you. I'm trying to be
So
a
Robert
comedian.
Carlock.
We don't have any books under that by that writer.
All right.
That author.
Okay. Well, that's okay. You did your best.
Well, if you have anything more,
Yeah.
oh great. What more?
Oh no, not for here. I just mean like this isn't the end of my life.
God, that was real. That was real.
And it really is a policy of don't send them to the bathroom on the children's floor.
What's a policy too?
Unless I was just like, no, don't send.
Which one did you do?
I did the Union Square store. I was on the 4th floor, and you weren't supposed to send like single guys to the bathroom on the 2nd floor.
Yeah, I don't remember it being single guys, but it was just like, try to send them to the,
Yeah.
uh,
Which is like if it was an adult, they didn't have kids, you weren't supposed to send them to that one.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
But there was one there, and ours too. This is scintillating. These are the kind of details I drop in my book.
You told this story on CBS this morning.
Oh shit, I did! Forgot about all my Barnes and Noble content.
I want to talk about your acting process because you talk a lot about your acting experience in the book.
Mhm.
But I want to try to get to a deeper level that it's the kind of thing you don't talk about in these 4 podcasts you did today. Did you talk about your process a lot?
Not even once.
What's your process?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. What is my process?
like you get the script.
Uh-huh.
When you read it, are you mad? Are you happy? Are you sad? What's your approach when you get that script? Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Do
The
you-
first thing, like when you get the email,
Yeah.
you're like, ooh, let's find out. Let's find out what happens. Let's find out, what interesting things are happening. Like especially when it was, like when I have a large role.
Mhm.
If you have a small role and you get the script, it's
Yeah.
like a Control F situation.
You search to see what you're doing.
Just to see if I'm in more than one scene that it was in the audition. Do you know what I mean?
How many times would you say you have acted in something where you genuinely don't know anything except what you do in your scenes?
If I've ever provided the script, I do read the entire
Did you read the whole
I
thing?
do. Yes, that's my preparation. But I have been in many shows where I have not been given the full script.
Right. And I used to think
Most of the shows.
most of the time you just get your sides
Yes.
and you just live in this little slice.
Yeah, I remember the first episode of 30 Rock I did. She now I'm forgetting the exact verbiage, but she says like, "Remember Jack, cat piss," or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like a callback to a previous joke, and I was just standing there, and finally Tina just looked at me and she goes, "You don't know what the cat piss thing is about, do you?" And I was like, "I don't. I really don't." And she was like, "It's a callback," and I was like, "Okay, that's enough, I guess."
But did your character need to know?
No.
Yeah. That's the thing. I used to think when I was a kid, I was wrong about everything that I thought.
Cat anus. It was cat anus.
Not cat, that's cat anus.
Yeah, that's funnier. That's funnier.
Well.
Props to Tina Fey.
I was wrong about so many things about what I thought it would be to be an actor when I was a kid. And one of the things when I would hear actors talk about like, oh, we only get part of the script, they don't show us the whole thing, I used to think like, oh, that must be so frustrating. But I find now
Now I don't have to read the whole script.
well, now what I find is I often will avoid reading anything I don't need to read because then if my character doesn't need to know it,
Uh-huh.
then I sort of want to enjoy it when I see the thing.
I see.
And then I can be kind of surprised, and sometimes I like realize things when I see a finished product. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. You know, like to me,
Yeah,
the
that's
parts,
not my process.
That's not your process.
No.
You like to really understand the full work.
Well, especially if I do have a small role and I read the full thing, it's really helpful to know what is my purpose for being there,
Yeah.
right? Is it just to provide, like, it's one thing to be like, I know, because like I look a certain way, and so I'm primarily, before I got the show on HBO, Somebody Somewhere, I only ever played kind of like bitchy gays, you know? Because I read as gay and my face is this way. So so I would always, it's one thing to be like, I need to say whatever, you can't come in here. But am I saying it just to frustrate her because then eventually she'll go to find her boyfriend? Or am I saying it to because it's going to stop some sort of machination in the plot? Or am I saying it, because I feel like that's important because it's subtle. I can't believe I'm talking this much about playing a waiter, but I am. It's subtle, but it's like, if you know it's to make her eventually go to the lover, then it's a different anger that you're inciting in her than if it's to make her run out and scream and throw down her glasses or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
And so I like to read the whole script for that, because sometimes it's not just the next scene. Sometimes it's like way at the end that it comes to. It's pretty rare. Most of the time it's just like you're just there to make the plot happen.
Right.
But I like to know that. And I didn't study acting. I don't have like a fancy process.
Right.
It's more like gut stuff, and I think it's more like improv stuff.
Gut Stuff is a good book title.
I should have called it gut stuff. It does sound like butt stuff. We started with butt stuff, but it got so deep it turned into gut stuff. That was filthy. I didn't say that on CBS Morning.
I was saying, like, people who write one book, they tend to like to write another book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gut stuff, here we come.
That's the one thing you didn't do in the other 5 appearances today, is promote the book you haven't yet written. So you made some news. So you didn't study acting. How'd you learn how to act? Without someone like abusing you. Oh, that's what acting teaching is.
Well, here's the deal. I do have a theater degree, so I don't know why I said I didn't study acting.
I know exactly why. Because I have a theater degree too. And I don't feel like I studied acting either.
Yeah, me neither. I don't have any.
Mahama! Give me that.
Huh?
Mahama!
Mahama.
Oh no!
Mahama.
From here.
Mahama.
That's legitimately what one of my acting teachers did for an entire semester. That's what studying acting was for me.
Yeah.
Mahama.
Mine was like, let's watch this movie and y'all write an email about it.
So how did you learn how to like pretend so good?
Well, I did study at the UCB, and
You already knew how to act by the time you got there.
Yeah, and I was in some musicals in high school. I don't know why I pointed to you. It wasn't a musical. Whatever, God. Those 4 words sounded like like a CIA agent who sits down and says a specific code to unlock something.
God?
It's like, like a password manager where it's like you have 4 disparate words, but they're actually English words so that no one will guess them for your password. That's what that title felt like to me.
What were the, let's name, let's stand here, let's play a game like this. Okay, so do you remember the first musicals you were in?
Yes.
Okay, so, I'm trying to think what the best way for this game is. I'm wondering if we overlap any musicals that we did. Because
Okay.
I started out doing musicals as a kid too.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Well, does it make more sense for us to take a step forward if we both were in something? Or if one of us,
What's the end goal here? We kiss?
I set it up like dueling, but yeah, it does look like that's what we're doing. No, I was trying to think. Ultimately, I couldn't crack what the game was. Oliver.
No, never was an Oliver.
Did you ever want to be an Oliver?
Yes.
What character?
I auditioned for the San Antonio Little Theater version of Oliver.
When? What year?
I was a child.
Okay.
So
you wanted to be one of the orphans?
85 or 86.
You wanted to be one of the orphans?
Yes.
And you didn't get in?
No. Well, I didn't get in because it ended up conflicting with a family vacation. I think they let all the children out.
Well, here's your chance. Let's do, I can't believe they won't serve us more than this. I can't believe it.
Perhaps you should just be happy. After all, we have gruel.
Go ask for some more.
I don't think I should.
Someone's got to do it.
Well, why does it have to be me? Let's make Oliver do it. He's tiny.
I don't think he's got the guts.
Oh, that's a good angle. Tell him he ain't got the guts, so he goes and does it. And then he'll prove us wrong. And he'll get some more gruel and we'll steal it from his tiny body.
You're bad. You're bad.
Yeah. I'm a poor kid who's homeless. Of course I'm bad. The world has made me bad. I won't apologise.
I fucking hate when people do that. You're not homeless, we live here in the orphanage. Stop saying you're homeless. There are real kids out there who are really homeless.
I don't have a bed. I sleep underneath your bed.
Right. Some people don't even have a bed to sleep under. You just reek of privilege, Damon. You reek of it. Homeless. How dare you? How dare you, Damon?
All right. I'm an orphan.
Right, we're all...
How's that? Is that better?
We're all orphans. It's an orphanage, Damon.
What I'm saying is, of course I'm bad. We're orphans. We got to do whatever we can to stay around.
Now that is true.
Okay, so point proven.
Point proven, Damon. You made a good point there.
Thank you, I did.
Don't ever say I don't give you credit when credit is due.
I never said that, Anthony.
Don't ever say I never said it.
You give me credit.
When credit is due, and I think credit is due to you. That's basically it.
Who are you?
I was an orphan, but then I couldn't, so I was in Food Glorious Food, but I wasn't a good enough dancer to be one of the pickpockets in Fagan's gang. So I was a chimney sweep in a group scene, and then later I delivered books from the bookseller, and I had a line of dialogue. And a little bit of business.
Do you remember the line?
The line was, "Here's the books you ordered from the bookseller, sir."
Wow, if that ain't exposition, what is?
But then my mom told me, like, you should do a bit of business where, like, you wait for a tip.
Oh my God, Mama Rose.
This scene was just like, it became a whole thing because I was like,
Did your mom give you a lot of notes on your acting?
no.
My mom gave me a note once that was good.
What was that?
I was in a production of Pump Boys and Dinettes,
I've seen it.
And-
Not your production. I've seen it.
and they basically just let us improvise because I don't know why, but they did. And so at one point I answered it and I said, "Hi, it's me, Jim." "Yeah, the dumb one." And she goes, "Why do you say it like that? You say it's sad. We feel sorry for you. You should be proud of it." And the next night I went, "Yeah, it's Jim. Yeah, the dumb one." Fucking brought the house down.
That's a good note.
Yeah, it was a good note.
We have to take a brief intermission. I don't have a reason for it. I was really trying to think of a good dramatic moment or a good dramatic reason. But I think the fact that I couldn't think of one.
Well, could you say, like, we're following equity rules?
Yes, we're following equity rules.
And this is our scheduled 10-minute break. If you need to use the equity cot, share it.
We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Please welcome back to the stage the acting class.
Now, I am curious about this, Jeff. Do you feel like I have this thought? I want to write a book. I want to write a book about acting, but I don't know what purpose it would serve. Like I'm struggling with that, or who would want it. Do you feel like? Well, first of all, did you enjoy writing the book?
I loved writing the book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wild about publicizing the book.
This is a drain to you. This.
Well, this shelf is. But today, like after podcast number 4 or whatever, I was like, oh God, who cares? Who the fuck cares? Not me. I know that.
Is there any way? Because presumably, if you're an actor and you write a book, you would think it would help your acting career, right? Because now there are actors who haven't written a book and actors who have.
Right.
And you used to be one of the ones who haven't. And now you are very much one of the ones who has. Undeniably so. Do you feel like, is there any way that it's helped your acting career already? Or is there any way that you feel it may have hurt your acting career?
I don't think it's hurt my acting career yet.
Do you think anyone's like, he's telling tales out of school? He's revealing how the sausage is made.
No.
No?
I don't think anybody's.
He names names.
The only person I say anything sort of negative about, like, listen, I've worked with some people who are like real mean, and a couple of them you even know.
Ooh, that sounds like it could be grist for gut stuff.
Yes, I ripped out. Anyway, except they're not very good stories. They're just like he yelled at me. You know what I mean? Like it's not like there's not like a real fun story.
I think that's one chapter, and I think it's a list. He yelled at me, chapter 2, and it's just a list. No context. Just like 300 names.
No, 300 people have yelled at me, Connor. Okay, probably. But one of them is just like, lady in car.
Finally, someone is calling her out.
You know, I mean. But I did write one story about Téa Leoni, because I was in a movie with Téa Leoni, and she said something that was, she was trying to be funny, but she said something that I was like, ouch! And then, but I just put it in there being like, isn't this funny that she said this? And then I kind of like, was being like, oh, it hurt my feelings or whatever. But then like some of the interviews, people have been like, so what a monstrous witch is Téa Leoni. And I'm like, oh no, I wouldn't have written about her if she was really horrible. You know, it's like,
Yeah, but like we're writing the stories now. You wrote your book. You don't get to tell us how we write our headlines.
I know. And because I have said yes to literally anything, some of the, like, there have been some clickbait things where it's just like,
You'll never believe what.
yes, exactly. Jeff Hiller talks about why he doesn't have eyebrows. That was sort of just an offhanded comment, but okay.
Is there any way you feel it's helped? Like now that you're a man of letters.
Not yet. It only came out on June 10th. Maybe sometime in the future. I will
Almost
say,
July, Jeff.
oh shit! What for me? I think that I talked to some other people who wrote books, and they were like, you know, when I wrote my book, I thought it would be like this big level up in my life, and it was just sort of like another book came out. And so I really kind of went into it with that idea of like, I really love these stories. I feel like I worked really hard to make them funny and also have heart. And so I wrote that. And if people by the way do like it, if you have read it, they do like it. But whatever. If it's not gonna make me get on a Marvel movie. I get that.
Is that the goal ultimately? Have you auditioned for a Marvel movie?
Never.
Never.
No.
That I find surprising, and I'm gonna call it out. I find it problematic, Marvel. There's a good headline, right? Like, why won't Marvel cast Jeff Hiller? They were gonna bring him in for an audition.
Marvel hates middle-aged homosexuals. I mean, it's so true. I mean, look at all the other roles out there for the middle-aged, awkward-looking people that aren't made of human muscle and flesh of stone.
I think. Do you watch Marvel movies?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm not like, I watched the hell out of that Agatha all along. I wouldn't be in those. That's the kind of one I would be in, where it's like, a bunch of ladies in wigs. Whee!
Are you familiar with Thanos and the Snap? Are you familiar with?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I am. I do know that. I
Yeah.
saw that one.
Uh,
I thought very
surely-
impressive CGI, how they disappear into dust.
I mean, surely.
I even saw Ant-Man, where at the end, a couple of them were disappeared into dust, but I never saw the follow-up, so I don't know what happened to Michelle Pfeiffer.
You'll never know.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I think I could imagine you very well playing a character who gets snapped. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, I know what you mean.
Because you know how to deliver a button. You know?
Yeah.
And a lot of those moments, some of them are sad where they'll have like Spider-Man, you're like, no, I don't want to die. And I was like, no, not Spider-Man.
Yeah. But mine would be comedic, and I'd be like, oh shit. And you would never hear the T, because it is PG.
That's how they get away with it. They snap it out before they...
What was he saying? Oh, shit.
Shiver me timbers.
Yeah. Oh, shiver me timbers.
Have you, because having worked at a bookstore, because I worked at the Barnes. How long did you work at Barnes and Noble, Lincoln Square?
Just like 6 months.
Barely anything. So I worked for 13 years. Recently, I was doing an improv show here, and the monologist mentioned they had worked at Barnes and Noble, and I just initiated a scene that was just a scene where I was working at Barnes and Noble again. It was just filled with details that did not particularly delight the audience. It was just me, like, I just went back to work, basically. But I witnessed a lot of book signings.
What is the 4th floor? The
That's-
4th floor is, I mean, I know that's where the signings and stuff are.
It's where they have the event
Cafe.
space there. They have fiction. They have biography. They have art.
So were
and
you in
history.
fiction?
I was in fiction most of the time, but I also took over the film and theater and graphic novels section. I sort of like took over the areas that I liked and made
Right.
those sections really good.
Oh.
But I witnessed a lot of book signings that were not well attended, and people would come and. Have you had any like book signing? Have you been doing book signings where?
Yes.
How's the turnout?
They've all been respectable. But it was my great fear that I would show up and it'd be like 3 people who were like, is there free food?
It's such a genuine risk at every level. There are people that you would think, oh, I thought there'd be a really big turnout for this.
Yeah.
And then there's something so humbling about
Yeah.
seeing a person who has made it to the end of the process of getting their book published.
Right.
And then they go to a place and sit at a table.
Right.
And the way that occasionally you see this portrayed in movies where like a character has a book and no one shows up. And
Yeah, Sex and the City did that, remember? And the dog had a bigger crowd. Or the little dog.
yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm the only one who's
No.
into Sex and the City.
I always found, I haven't seen all of Sex and the City, but I found I liked the dramatic parts more than I liked the comedic parts. And I saw people complaining about the parts that I liked. They're like, why is it getting so dramatic?
Oh,
I'm
right.
like, I think this part's working. I'm really invested in what's going on.
Yeah.
And the comedic stuff wasn't really on didn't appeal to me as much as,
It's a lot of wordplay.
yeah, I remember saw an episode where they went to the club called Bed. And they just were too many jokes with like, look at us, we're in bed now. They're like, yeah, I never thought I'd be having this drink in bed. Like, oh look, I'm sitting down at a table in bed. That's a weird way to use multiple forms of furniture that don't complement one another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked for me. I don't know. I was into that kind of stuff. I even liked it when they said, well, a friend of mine really hates that in the first movie, when Charlotte accidentally gets diarrhea, they say something like, they say, Charlotte went to Poughkeepsie. And my friend is like, we've never talked about Poughkeepsie. We've never said anything about going to upstate New York whatsoever. What the? They're in Mexico. Why is she going to Poughkeepsie? Just because it has the word poo? And I'm like, yeah.
What's the thing that because I've auditioned for some things that you've booked.
Oh, really?
Not the same part. Like I'd be auditioning for a much lower level part.
I don't think that's true.
No, it is. You'd be surprised. I'm still at the point. I've never booked anything on a Dick Wolf show, and I have this experience. I really don't like it, which is going. And this is pre-pandemic when I was doing this, but I really locked into this feeling where you'd go down to the pier, Chelsea Pier, and you'd wait in a room, and usually what I would audition for is not the main sex offender, but the one,
A decoy sex offender?
the one who couldn't possibly have done it because he's been chemically castrated. Multiple episodes I've auditioned for the chemically castrated guy. They're like, tell us who did it. He's like, I'm no snitch. And then they say, well, we're gonna ruin your life in other ways. And he's like, fine, I'll tell you. So I'm like, oh great, so everybody in the audience hates this guy. And the last.
But you never booked it because they knew that the audience wouldn't ever be able to hate you.
No, I know what I did. I did a really, really good audition. I don't normally think I do good auditions. I did a really good audition that I knew was also the wrong audition.
Okay.
Because I knew the character I was playing was a real really, really creepy character. And I decided I would play him as sympathetically as I could, and kind of play him like, let's root for this guy. Like he's the hero of his own story. And
Poor guy got chemically castrated.
this guy's been through a lot. And I knew as I was doing it, I was like, I think this is good acting. I think this approach has validity. And also, I'm creeping out the casting people who do this all the time. Like their whole life is like, all right, here's these sides. The guy's like, yeah, I bashed his head in, then I raped him. And they're just like, that's just what they like do all day. And what I was doing in the room, they were just like not on board for. Like when the audition ended, I was like, I feel like I did justice to the role in a way that is like franchise killing. Like, I think it genuinely would have taken...
Who are the history writers? Who are the history writers? Here's my thing about, Dick Wolf is the Law and Order guy, and he does, what, Chicago, all those Chicago shows, and also FBI, all the FBI shows.
Yeah.
I've been on FBI Most Wanted and Law and Order Criminal Intent. And thank you. I was on the last episode, I killed it. When I went in, I had like a recurring role. I was playing like a computer genius, because again, his face. And I was doing a show on Broadway at the time, and they had seen the show, and that makes it sound like I've done more than one show. I was doing the one time I've ever been on Broadway, and they were like, "We loved you in that show. We want to put you on this." On Law and Order, because everybody on Broadway has to be on Law and Order. So when you audition, don't act. Say it in the rhythm that it sounds like. Don't put any spin on it. Don't do anything. Just watch 3 episodes of Law and Order and just talk like they talk on Law and Order. And I had another friend who read a story for This American Life, and they were like, don't try to act it. Just read it like you're doing an impersonation of someone reading on This American Life. And I think that they don't want you to bring your own thing to it. They want
readers.
you to.
They want readers.
They want people to see that episode and go, congratulations.
The other thing that I recall now from the Dick Wolf waiting room is that there's the people who were there to audition to play creeps on SVU, and then there's the people who were there for the Chicago shows who look like they're firefighters.
Right. Or like gorgeous doctors.
Yeah, and it was just so obvious who is there for, like, you look around the room, you're like, oh, okay, that's a me, that's a me, that's a me, that guy's not a me.
Yeah.
And you do get a sense of what they think of you by who they think, if it's not you, it will be.
Yeah.
And that's harrowing because you're looking in something that's like in some ways more accurate than an actual mirror. Because you're seeing this is what casting thinks, like, bring in a bunch of these.
Yeah.
We're looking for one of these. And when you see one you're so used to seeing what you are in a mirror, that even to see a photograph or the way someone fills you, it's not the same as seeing what someone else thinks you also look like.
Yeah. It's very similar to, have you ever seen yourself being filmed from behind? Don't do it. Don't do it. You're like, honestly, like somebody sent me a video, a friend of mine saw me on the street and filmed me walking down the street, and then he sent it to me and he was like, I'm stalking you. And I looked at the video and all I could think was, who the fuck is this person that's wearing the same clothes I'm wearing today? Because it was like a lumbering monster. It was like looking at Nessie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have had that. And it's the worst way. There's some ways that are not the way you're supposed to learn certain things.
Yeah.
You're either never supposed to learn them, but definitely not like this.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been in a store where the security camera has like all the angles,
Oh.
and then you look up and you're like, who's that? And then you're like, and you're just seeing like, oh, my hair's thinning and no one told me.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing an angle that's from the ceiling.
Yeah. My posture's like that?
Yeah.
When did I gain so much weight that there's like curves on my gut from behind?
I did acting work yesterday, and it's the kind of...
Can you say?
I can't say,
Love it.
but not in an impressive way.
Respect it.
It's just in a legal way. But what I will say is that it's the kind of role that you book that you're like, okay, I booked this because I'm funny, but I've also booked this because this product is making a point about what they don't want. Like, the product is making a point where it's like, literally, it's the thing where it's like, do you want this or do you want this?
You booked the before. You booked
Yeah.
the before picture.
And it's a really interesting thing when you're like, yeah, I booked it, but then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you realize that you're part of this larger meaning,
Yeah.
and this is where you sit in it.
Yeah. I remember this one time there was a sign on a door that said, if you're here to audition for ethnic employee, you're here a day early. And I was just like, oh my God, that thing just hit me in the face. Like, all of the, like, it's racist, it's cruel, it refuses to see you as anything other than just like, it's no dignity, no humanity, it's just like, ethnic employee, get the fuck out of here!
I will say this, I was struck by, you said you played a lot of flight attendants.
4
4 flight attendants.
Yeah.
Those are 4 SAG flight attendants?
4 SAG.
SAG roles. I may or may not have recently had what I think, unless I've forgotten, is the first time I've ever auditioned for a flight attendant role.
Oh,
What do we think of that?
did you book it?
I don't know.
What do you think you auditioned for?
No, I'm covering myself legally in case I've already said too much. For when Flight Attendant the movie comes out.
I auditioned for the flight attendant to play a flight attendant. I didn't get it. That other guy, the other gay flight attendant guy.
Do you distinguish between those 4 flight attendants in terms of like who they are, what their journey is, where they are, and they're like, do you make a point of thinking like I want each one to be distinct, or do you think there's a continuity that you cherish among the 4?
2 were in commercials.
So then it's about the product.
Yeah.
How do I most effectively sell?
Exactly.
What were the products?
American Express.
It's the card they'll take when you need them to take it.
Exactly. What was the other one? I know what it was, but I can't think of what it is now. I can't remember the other product.
All right.
But I was, Bing.com. Actually, give you a flavor of the time period that we were
So American
shooting.
Express, which is still, I assume, thriving.
Yes.
Bing is still binging, right?
They bing.
Bing? You bing?
They bing.
Jeremy bings.
Oh, let's Bing this.
So a flight attendant for Bing, and then what were the two, let's say, legit?
30 Rock and Kimmy Schmidt.
Great.
Yeah.
But you still are avoiding this question.
Oh, sorry. Do I try and?
They're 4 different people.
Yeah. Well, one was under a trance because he was stuck in, search engine hell, and so he was under a trance and had to be like, I've got 2 tickets to paradise. So he's very different, right? He's under a trance.
Yes. I mean, who knows what he's like under normal circumstances, but when we meet him,
Right.
he's affected in a way that has nothing to do with the other 3.
Exactly. So that was very easy to separate him. The one, the Amex one, it was me, and I was like gabbing with the person who was doing online shopping on the plane. I was just like, rah, 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 rah. So yeah, that was very different. The one on 30 Rock was a bitch. I was very angry, and I did sort of like my clue in was clear your nostrils. And that's what I did. And I was really mean to Tina Fey. I called her a lipless middle-aged woman in a lesbian clown shirt. And then that was a different episode than Cat Amos, by the way. And then on Kimmy Schmidt, it was this is some interesting trivia. You like trivia?
I do, I love it.
I was in one season, I was in the Sliding Doors episode of Broad City and the Sliding Doors episode of Kimmy Schmidt. Isn't that weird? Sliding Doors, the seminal Gwyneth Paltrow film about what happens if you get on the train and what happens if you don't.
Right.
One of them, you get a bob, the other one, you don't have a bob. Anyway, so in that one, I was playing an assistant earlier in Kimmy Schmidt, but in this like weird world, I was now a flight attendant with Jane Krakowski's character, because in her sliding doors thing, she had become a flight attendant instead of being really rich. So we were co-flight attendants together, and I was high. I was high. That, by the way, wasn't in the script. I just made that choice.
Is there a flight attendant character that you feel like you haven't been allowed to do?
No.
Like, because these are all either in a short form like a commercial, or they're a small appearance.
As a guest star, yeah.
Guest starring role. Would you ever think about playing a character where we saw their full life as a flight attendant and really delved into?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'm definitely not one of those people who's like,
I'm done with it.
yeah.
I refuse to play something I've played before.
I want to work. I want my health insurance. I'll do anything. And anybody who had an interior life, like, oh, yeah.
Let's go someplace where you haven't gone. I really want you to push yourself here.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, yes.
I can't get the Wi-Fi to work. I have the T-Mobile thing that gives me, I'm supposed to have the unlimited texting, and it just keeps giving me the little airplane with the circly lines.
Do you have are you a member of the Delta Frequent Flyer program?
No, I'm not. Do I need to be?
You do.
Oh, can I do that if I don't have a signal?
No.
So I wish I should have done it back at the airport.
Yeah.
Oh God. I just really wanted to use my phone on the flight.
I completely understand that, and I
I'm
apologize.
sorry for. I know it's not your fault.
Well, no, but I understand the frustration.
It isn't your fault, is it?
No, and in fact, I even said, if you want to get free Wi-Fi, you should download the Delta app.
I can't do that. That's something I would have had to do before. Like now I'm all.
You know, that's why I said you should do it before we take off. Did you hear that on the speaker?
I wasn't paying attention.
I know you had
Because
your
I had to
headphones
signal them.
in.
I had to signal them.
Yeah, you had your AirPods in.
I've heard that speech a million times.
Well, it's not apparently everything.
I didn't know you guys added new stuff.
Yes, that's why we say, please, even if you're a frequent flyer, please pay attention to the entire presentation, as some things do change depending on the plane you're in. Are you aware of your exits? Quick, 1, 2, 3. That is an exit, but it's not your closest. Remember?
Oh, shit.
Some of them might be behind.
I'm really learning a lesson the hard way.
It's okay. The hardest way would be if we crashed and you didn't know where to get out.
That's a really good point. Thank you for comforting me.
We're not gonna crash. We're not gonna crash.
It's hypothetical.
Yeah. Okay, good. So how are you gonna get through this?
Uh,
You know, I read recently about people who are doing what's called a raw dog on a flight. Are you familiar with raw dogging?
That's illegal. I can't.
It's not
I swear, my cousin got in big trouble.
illegal. No, I think you're thinking of something else. I don't know what, but it's not this.
My cousin raw dogged on a flight. And they said, sir, that is a felony. And he went to prison.
Was he fully dressed while he was raw dogging?
I mean, not fully dressed.
Okay, that's the felony. That's the felony. Raw dogging just means you sit on a plane without a book or a phone or internet or a film, and you just sit and really meditate on what your life is about as you go across the country
Oh, okay.
through the air.
All right, but I'm not wrong about the rich history of that term. It's just that there's like
just
new-
between you and me,
Yeah?
I think raw dogging just means having sex without a condom. I don't think that's a felony.
That's what no, but it is if you do it in the aisle of an airplane. Which is what my cousin did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm learning here though is that like there's new stuff happening that I need to be paying attention to. Like I thought that your speech was just always the same, and I'm like I've heard this before. I don't know
But we changed it. Now we're doing Delta over 100 years. So you see us. See there. well, it's not airing right now, but that's why,
Can I say, I
each
did see-
decade they wear a different outfit that was the actual outfit that they wore. Some of them have been designed by like Oleg Cassini and Zach Posen. You should check it out just for the clothes. Other than 1920s when they're just like wearing traditional pilot garb. I'm like, whatever that is.
I did see the very beginning of it. Can I just give you a note on it?
Yes, although again, I'm not responsible, but yes.
I think you should lose those really early clips where they're trying out airplanes that don't work. I think it's trying to be like funny and interesting, but like that's part of why I checked out. I'm like, I don't need to see these guys. These planes look like they're made out of cardboard.
Right, and that one where the guy's on the bicycle with the big wings.
No, thank you, Delta.
And we just want to extend an apology from all of Delta about the crashing at the beginning of the video. I know that some planes crashed, but we're not going to crash. We're okay. We're going to be okay. But also, there is some turbulence coming up. In the unlikely event that you should have oxygen fall from the ceiling, we ask that you remove any face covering and cover your own face before you help those around you. I know it feels like to be a good mother you should put it on your kid first. But if you don't have oxygen, you'll pass out and die. Nobody's gonna die. But you could pass out and die. Thank you. I think I remedied that.
That was really touch and go there. Like,
What do you mean?
I mean, like there were moments where I felt like you were really comforting, and then other moments where it sort of steered away from comfort.
Well, there are some legalities that you have to cover. You can't say you definitely won't die because
Nobody
they could
knows.
sue.
Nobody knows. Also, that's hubristic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't know you could extend the word hubris like that.
The idea that like somehow this airplane is completely invulnerable.
No, I know what you meant by it. I just didn't know that that was a form of the word.
I might be using it wrong. I wish I could fucking look it up.
Raw dog it. Again, not what your cousin meant.
Can I just say, I know that a lot of people yell at flight attendants and they take out their frustrations, and I feel like I was skirting perilously close to having that kind of moment with you.
Yeah, I don't care about it anymore. It's a real like water off a duck's back. People yell at me and I'm fine with it. You know why?
Why?
Chelsea Handler dedicated her last book to flight attendants and all of the shit that they go through. And that meant so much to me that now I can do anything.
Oh, wow.
That's true.
Wow. All right, well, I'm not a reader, so well, maybe I'll check that one out, huh? Chelsea Handler. Must be quite an author.
Yeah. And she's written 5 best-selling books.
That's 5 more than I have, sir.
Well, maybe as you're raw dogging, you can plan out your future book.
All right, thanks a lot.
I thought of a great title for a book.
What?
Don't take it.
Okay.
Promise?
Yeah. Yeah, I promise.
Gut stuff.
Oh, that was
Yes!
Thank you. Class